Welcome to Guru Trader video for Tuesday, November the 30th, 2010. Here's the 8 market movers that we're watching today. 3 new symbols, 5 follow-ups on the TSX Venture Exchange, following up on AVR, Avion Gold Corporation, 145 up 8. Also following up on PPI Passport Potash Inc., 35 up 4. Mentioning EPO again, Encanto Potash Corp, 37.5 down 3 today. New symbol PDQ Petrodorado Energy Limited, 71 up 4. Another new symbol SSU Silver Sun Resource Corp, 16.5 up 4.5. And another new symbol SXL SLAM Exploration Limited, 19.5 up 1. And on the TSX, following up on FIU First Uranium Corp, 140 up 3. And lastly, on the NASDAQ small cap, URRE again, Uranium Resources Inc., 373 up 24. All right, once again, gold up, silver up strong, and in response to these sovereign credit issues going on over in Europe, Greece, Italy, Portugal, Spain. It's hard to keep track these days. But anyway, isn't it interesting that gold seems to want to go up whether the US dollar's up like it is today or when it's down. So anyway, gold's the place to be, and rightly so. That's where the action is in the stocks that we're following anyway. So anyway, first stock I should mention today, AVR again, Avion Gold Corp, 145 up 8, 2.1 million shares. Made another, this is a new high for the stock. Trade as high as 148 today. Now this one we have mentioned, this is our 7th post since December 29th of last year at 56 cents. Our last mention was on November 4th at 93 cents. And they're involved in their gold plays are in Burkina Faso, and they put out this project anyway, this Vindaloo zone, and they put out news on today. Avion further extends Vindaloo gold zone with additional intersection of 3.14 grams over 39.8 meters. And there's additional results there, so you might want to look at that. Looking at the 5-year chart on this, you'll see the company's been around since 2007, and we're in uncharted territory here with the stock again. So anyway, it's popped up on the volume, so we're going to continue. Thought we'd just give you an update on that one. And moving on, PPI Passport Potash Inc., 35 up 4, 12% move, 6 million shares traded at 67 million, so that's significant. 23 million market cap, still not much more than a shell at this point. The 52-week high was yesterday at 31 cents, the low 3.5 on June the 9th. So that one, it's had a spike here, and a lot of the potashes are bumping up here today since this BHP potash bid. There's some speculation. We actually put out a report last Friday. If you go to our website, investorsguru.com, we mentioned Encanto Potash, Potash One, a number of other juniors that are active in the Saskatchewan Potash Athabasca region, and why there's a case for these juniors. Speculation. There's some speculation who's going to take over. What's the next name that's going to be taken over, or there's somebody who may take a run at somebody. So anyway, we're watching that space. So we mentioned Encanto and a few of those other names if you want to read that article. And actually, Encanto's the next stock I'm going to mention. But Passport, we mentioned. This is our second mention since 14 cents on November the 14th. So we're following up on that one, and we mentioned them on the 17th because of this news. Passport Potash announces further drilling at their Holbrook Potash project. So that was on 14 cents on that date. So 35 today. Moving on, EPO Encanto Potash. Like I said, that report mentions Encanto. Today it's down a little bit, 37.5 down 3. 4 million shares traded at a 225 million outstanding, $84 million market cap. The 52-week high on this was 48 cents, which it did on November 26th, and the low was 10.5, which it did on August the 4th. So it's had a good move. So I'm wondering, it really, we mentioned them on Friday. I think it was around 22 cents is where they closed. And so that's a good move here for a lot of these juniors. That Encanto went up from 22 to 48. So I look at Fibonacci retracements just as a guideline for where support levels might be. Hard to do on some of the thinner stocks, but there's pretty good volume here. If you look at what I look at is the move. It moved from 22 to 48, so that's 26 cents. And I'm looking for retracements of about 23.6%, 38.2%, 50%, and 61.8%. So at those levels, I'd be looking for support from 48 cents at 42 cents, 38 cents, 35 cents, 32 cents. And anyway, if you look at the 5-day chart here, that's really what it's been doing now so far. Traded as low as 34 cents today, but now it's bounced bouncing up at that 37 level. So I don't know, 32, 35, 34 is right in the middle there, so maybe it's trying to find support. Anyway, they announced a 5.5 million private placement offering of units and flow-through shares, and those were actually done 12.5 million units, 40 cents per unit, and up to a million common shares on a flow-through basis at 50 cents. So that's not completed yet. They just announced it, but worth watching. Let's look at the long-term charts on Encanto. Really hasn't done anything. So this is a breakout for the stock. So we're going to continue to watch that one. And this is a new one, PDQ Petrodorado Energy Limited, 71 up 4, 6% move, 8.5 million. Now this one's been it's been on the active list several times, didn't quite make the cut for us because it's, almost 400 million shares outstanding, kind of scares us away, but it's a $280 million company. I think this is one is active in Colombia with a lot of these Colombian oil plays that have done well. This is another one to keep an eye on. The 52-week high on this was 70 cents, which did November 26th, and I think they're in uncharted territory. That's a new high for the stock, I believe. Let me just check my notes here. Yeah, that's a new high, and they put out news. They're back here on July 19th. We've mentioned Loon Energy before. Anyway, I'm really not sure. I don't really have time to go into this, but I believe that I'm pretty sure they're active in Colombia. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that one. First time mentioning Pedoro. SSU Silver Sun Resources. First time mentioning this one. This one popped up today, 16.5 up 4.5, 37% move. Keep in mind that's only 4 cents. 4.4 million shares traded out of 23.5 million. So this is just looks like a shell at this point. Market cap only 3.8 million. The 52-week high in this was 15 cents, which it did November 23rd, and the low was 4.5 cents, which it did September 16th. So they're moving it off the lows here. It hasn't really done anything. Let's look at the longer term chart. Okay, so let's look 5 years here. Yeah, the stock really hasn't done anything. So it has broken out. This is a new high for the stock. And they're active in this Zacatecas Silver District in Mexico. So that's where they're working, and they put out news August the 3rd begins metallurgical test program. But if you read in here, it mentions results from the metallurgical test program are expected to be available to the company in approximately 8 weeks. So August 3rd, September, October. I don't know, maybe that's what's moving the stock. I have no idea. It just popped up today on the action breaking through high, so I'd like to find out what's moving that. SXL SLAM Exploration Limited, 19.5 up 1. Small move here, but it hasn't made a 52-week high. So why am I mentioning it? October the 8th, 26.5, pulled back, held above its previous highs. The low was last December at 4 cents. 30 million market cap, 157 million shares outstanding. Interesting news release. They did a 1.3 million non-brokered private placement, and they did that at 21 cents. And there's warrants, let's see, non-flow through common shares are priced at 25% for 12 months and at 40 cents. That's on the warrants. So let's look at the longer term chart on SLAM. Was up 20 cents, blew up, and it's kind of getting through that level again. Let's go back a little bit further. There's the 10-year. Oh, it was up to almost $1 at one point. So, I don't know, kind of looks like a saucer. Anyway, I don't mean to ramble on there, but this was interesting. November 26th, they announced they're mobilizing to drill Reserve Creek gold deposit, and then they wanted to repeat that on they're mobilizing to drill Reserve Creek gold deposit. So they're mobilizing to drill their deposit. So let's see what kind of results come from that one. And FIU, First Uranium Corp, 140 up 3, 2.5 million shares traded, $250 million company, 180 million shares outstanding. The 52-week high was 269 on December 3rd. The low was 71 cents on July 27th. So we mentioned, we're looking for, gold's doing well, silver's doing well. What's next? And we feel it's going to be uranium and potash and some other metals. These rare earth metals are doing well. So anyway, we've been looking for some uranium turnaround situations. And this one, sold down and looked like once it broke through this dollar level on the way up, we mentioned it. And this is our second post since mentioning it at $1.07 on November the 8th. Check our twitter.com/investorsguru profile and go down to the bottom and open up the additional pages and do a search in your browser if you ever want to check any of these prices that I'm mentioning. And First Uranium was interesting because I noticed here, I haven't read all their news, but there was a fall of ground at their Uzawini gold mine. They're into gold and uranium, and their mines are in South Africa. And this Uzawini mine operations resume was announced on the 19th. Seemed to be about when things were turning around for the company. So it's one to keep an eye on there. Sorry, I meant to look at the longer term chart on the stock. And there's the 5-year. This thing's been over $10 before, so I don't know. It depends on what perspective you're looking at it, and I'm not sure if this company has any actual. I believe they do have revenues here. First Uranium announces financial results for the 3 and 6 months, and their production. So I'd look into all that. There seems to be something substantive there. So we're going to keep following it. Anyway, lastly, on the NASDAQ small caps, URRE again, another uranium. Uranium Resources Inc., 373 up 24, almost 12 million shares traded, $345 million market cap, 92 million shares outstanding. The 52-week high was 358, which did on November 28th yesterday. The low was 37 cents on July the 2nd. And so we're following up on that one because this is actually our 4th post since June 16th. At 65 cents. We also mentioned them on November the 2nd at $1.68 and November the 4th at $1.76. So seems like this one has had a huge move because we're up from 65 cents to 373. However, if you look at the long-term chart, this stock's been over $10 before. Nice saucer building here, so I don't know. You kind of have to wonder how much more we have to go. It has had a big move, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back at some point. But technically, in the long term, that looks appealing if those whatever drove that up there comes into play again. Anyway, they did put out news on the 15th. Uranium Resources NRC license upheld as United States Supreme Court denies petition. They were petitioning one of their in situ recovery mining at their Church Rock Crown Point project, so that seems to be back as a go. And they talk about begin construction facilities in 2012 and producing in 2013, and I believe they do have some production, and so anyway, we'll continue to follow that one. That's what it for today. Do your homework, trade safely. We'll talk with you soon. Guru Trader videos and tweets are daily snapshots of 5 to 7 very active small and microcap stocks from all North American stock exchanges. We simply track stocks that are trading up significantly on news or making new highs on very high volume without any further consideration of company fundamentals. The point is to save time by focusing on only those stocks that are moving right now. Guru Trader symbols come from filtering market movers and from subjective observations. Our software cross-references today's volume actives, percent gainers, and dollar gainers, which are filtered down to just lower-priced stocks. We then look at each stock's charts for apparent uptrends and news headlines for obvious one-day-only events to exclude, like a buyout, or for longer-term growth-related news like financials, drill results, patent approvals, etc. to include. This is similar to how many traders look for new stocks as a starting point for further research with their financial and investment advisors. This is not an advisory service, and conflicts may exist as we sometimes take positions, or featured stocks may have bought online advertising or IR support services. Any content published by Investors Guru Small Cap Stock Observer is subject to the terms of our privacy policy and disclaimer at investorsguru.com. For our other small cap stock channels, follow Twitter's Guru Trader tweet in real time on your PC or mobile device at twitter.com/investorsguru. Subscribe to watch YouTube's Investors Guru video channel at youtube.com/investorsguru. Search Investors Guru at facebook.com and add us as a friend to see our videos, tweets, etc. that are all synced to post on our wall. It's free to sign up at investorsguru.com stock community for comprehensive quotes, newsletters, profiles, forums, etc., or to update your portfolio, watch list, alerts, and news by email preferences. Thanks for watching.